You strive. You work hard. You follow the rules, read the books, and apply the strategies. But there's a persistent feeling, a silent question that accompanies you in moments of quiet. Why, despite all my effort, does true abundance, that feeling of peace, freedom, and prosperity, always seem to be out of my reach? We search for the answer in the external world, in a new business opportunity, in the next investment, in working more hours, believing that the key to abundance is hidden under some rock we haven't yet turned over. But we have been trying to open the wrong door our whole lives. The truth, as simple as it is profound, is this: abundance is not something you chase. It is something you allow. It is not a fortress to be conquered outside. It is a fountain to be unleashed from within. The key you have been searching for so eagerly is not in the world. It has always been in the one place you were taught to ignore: your own mind. This is a journey to reclaim that forgotten key, a manual to become the architect of your inner world, to learn how to uninstall the scarcity programs you have inherited, and to sow, with intention, the seeds of a prosperity that is your birthright. Throughout this audiobook, you will discover that your mind is not simply an observer of your reality. It is its source. It is the silent cause of every effect you see in your life. The infinite banquet of life has always been served. It's time to finally give yourself permission to sit at the table. The first step on this journey is a simple declaration of intent. If you feel that it's your time to reclaim this key, let a like on this video be your way of saying yes to your own abundance. And by subscribing, you join this expedition to ensure you receive every tool and every revelation on the path of knowledge. Chapter 1. The Gardener and the Garden, the Conscious and Subconscious Mind. You have decided to reclaim the key to your mind, that forgotten key that opens the door to abundance. To use it masterfully, you must first understand the lock. You must know the map of your own inner territory, a vast and powerful landscape governed by two distinct but interconnected forces. You don't possess two minds, but one mind with two radically different functions. Understanding this duality is the first and most crucial step to moving from being an unconscious creator of your reality to becoming its deliberate architect. These two functions are the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. Let's imagine your mind as a vast and fertile estate. In this estate, there is a gardener and a garden. The gardener, your conscious mind. The conscious mind is the gardener. It is the part of you with which you identify most of the time. It is that voice in your head that is listening to these words, the thinker, the one who reasons, the one who analyzes. It is the captain on the bridge of your ship, observing the world through the five senses, making decisions and giving orders. The gardener's main function is choice. Your conscious mind is the only part of you that has true free will. It can observe an idea, analyze it, compare it with past experiences, and, most importantly, accept or reject it. It is the gatekeeper. It has the authority to decide which seeds will be planted in the garden. However, the gardener, despite their apparent control, has significant limitations. They can only process a limited amount of information at once. They get tired. Their main tool is willpower, a resource that, as we know, is finite and gets depleted with use. The conscious gardener, no matter how intelligent, is only a small part of the total operation of the estate. The garden, your subconscious mind. Beneath the surface on which the gardener walks lies the true power, the garden itself. Your subconscious mind is the fertile, dark, mysterious, and infinitely powerful soil. The most important characteristic of this garden, one you must engrave in your memory, is that it is completely neutral and impersonal. It has no preferences. It does not judge. Its only nature is to grow, with a prodigious vitality, any seed that the gardener plants in it. If the gardener plants a rose seed, the soil will use all its power to produce a beautiful and fragrant rose. If the gardener, through ignorance or carelessness, plants a belladonna seed, a poisonous plant, the soil will grow it with the same care and the same energy. The soil does not say, "Oh, this is poison, I refuse to grow it." Its law is one of unconditional growth. Your subconscious mind operates under this same supreme law. It does not reason, it does not debate, it does not tell you if your thoughts are useful or destructive. It simply accepts them as seeds and uses its immense power to make them germinate and manifest them as circumstances, conditions, and experiences in your life. This garden is also the storehouse of your memory. Every experience you have lived, every word you have heard, every emotion you have felt, is stored in this soil as a nutrient or as a toxin. It is the book of your life, a perfect archive that your subconscious constantly refers to. Furthermore, it is the controller of your body. The garden manages all the autonomous processes that keep you alive: your heartbeat, your breathing, digestion, the repair of your cells. It does everything automatically and perfectly, demonstrating its incalculable intelligence and power. And finally, this garden is not isolated. Its deepest roots connect to a groundwater of universal intelligence, the source of intuition, inspiration, and creativity. The dynamics of sowing, how you create your reality. The law of the garden is simple. The garden does not respond to the gardener's desires or hopes. It responds solely and exclusively to the seeds that the gardener plants. The creation process works like this. The gardener, your conscious mind, chooses or allows a thought or an idea, the seed. That seed is planted in the fertile soil, your subconscious mind. The gardener waters that seed with the water and sun of emotion and feeling. The soil, the subconscious, accepts the watered seed and begins the germination process, mobilizing all the forces of nature to make it grow. Over time, the seed sprouts and manifests in the external world as the harvest, your circumstances, your reality. The problem is that most of us are unconscious gardeners. We don't pay attention to the seeds we are planting. We allow the seeds of fear, doubt, and scarcity, carried by the wind of the news, negative conversations, and our own unmonitored inner dialogue, to fall into our garden. And then we water these poisonous seeds with the powerful emotion of worry and anxiety. And finally, we look at the harvest of our lives, full of weeds and bitter fruit, and we ask ourselves in despair why we have such bad luck. It's not bad luck. It's perfect agriculture. You have been cultivating exactly what you have been planting. This understanding is, at first, confrontational. It strips us of all our excuses. We can no longer blame luck, others, or external circumstances. It places us at the center of our universe and gives us back 100% of our responsibility. But along with that responsibility, it gives us an unimaginable power. Because if we are the gardeners, that means we have the power, at this very moment, to start choosing different seeds. It means we can start pulling up the weeds and deliberately planting the seeds of prosperity, health, and happiness that we wish to see grow. Practice your first garden inspection. Before you can plant a new garden, you must become aware of the current state of the soil. These exercises are designed to turn you into a conscious observer of your own mental activity. Exercise 1. The seed inventory. For the next 3 days, your only task is to observe. Become the scientist of your own mind. Carry a small notebook or a note on your phone. Divide it into 2 columns, seeds of abundance and seeds of scarcity. Throughout the day, simply pay attention to your inner dialogue. When you catch yourself having a thought, write it down in the corresponding column. In seeds of abundance, you will put thoughts of gratitude, possibility, trust, appreciation, and success. What a beautiful day. I am capable of solving this. I am grateful for this meal. In seeds of scarcity, you will put thoughts of worry, complaint, criticism, fear, doubt, and lack. I don't have enough money. This is too difficult. I hate my job. I'm so tired. Don't try to change the thoughts yet. Don't judge yourself. Simply collect the data. At the end of the 3 days, look at your lists. What kind of seeds are you planting most often? This is the cause of your current harvest. Awareness is the first step to change. Ejercicio 2 de Conscious Guardian. Now that you are aware, you can begin to exercise your power as the gatekeeper. For the next week, every time you catch yourself planting a seed of scarcity, whether it's your own thought or a negative suggestion from someone else, you are going to perform a simple act of power. Step A. Reject. Stop. Visualize a door or a barrier in front of your mind and say internally with firmness and authority, I reject this seed. I cancel this thought. It does not have permission to enter my garden. Step B. Replace. Immediately after, consciously plant an opposing and empowering seed. Water this new seed with a positive emotion, however slight. If the thought was, "I'm afraid I won't be able to pay this bill," you reject it and replace it with, "I am a magnet for abundance and I always have more than enough to cover all my needs with plenty to spare. I am grateful for my prosperity." This technique, practiced diligently, is the act of consciously weeding and planting. At first it requires effort, but over time, it becomes your new natural way of thinking. You are not a victim of the circumstances of your life. You are the gardener of your mind. The quality of your harvest is a direct reflection of the quality of the seeds you choose to plant, moment by moment, every day. Chapter 2. The currency of the universe. The power of belief and emotion. What exactly causes a seed to sprout and become a tangible reality, while others lie dormant and die in the soil? The answer lies in the fundamental law of manifestation, the currency that the universe recognizes and accepts without exception. This currency has two inseparable sides. On one side, belief, and on the other, emotion. Let's start with belief. A belief isn't a simple thought. A thought is a fleeting mental event, a cloud crossing the sky of your mind. A belief is the sky itself. It's a thought you've thought so many times with such conviction that it has solidified. It has stopped being an idea and has become a truth for you, a fundamental part of your operating system. Your subconscious mind doesn't distinguish between a belief and objective reality. For it, your belief is reality. The reason belief is so powerful is that it acts as both a perceptual filter and a vibrational magnet. As a filter, your belief determines what you pay attention to in the vast ocean of information around you. If you have a deeply ingrained belief that people can't be trusted, your brain, like a loyal detective, will actively look for evidence in the world to validate that belief. It will ignore the 100 acts of kindness you witness in a day and focus with laser precision on the single act of dishonesty. And then it will proudly tell you, "See? I was right." As a magnet, your belief emits a constant vibrational frequency. That belief that people can't be trusted generates a habitual emotional state of suspicion and mistrust. This subtle vibration is communicated through your body language, your tone of voice, the energy you radiate, and people on a subconscious level respond to that frequency. Genuine, open people may feel uncomfortable around you and distance themselves, while untrustworthy people may feel strangely drawn to your field, as if they recognize a resonance. And so, your belief becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. The universe isn't giving you what you want, it's giving you a perfect confirmation of what you believe to be true. Life is a mirror that reflects not your face, but your deepest beliefs. But a belief, to have this power to shape reality, needs an activator. It needs the energy that propels it from the invisible world of the mind to the visible world of form. That energy, that catalyst, is emotion. If a belief is the seed, emotion is the water and sun that make it germinate. A thought without feeling has very little power to impress the subconscious mind. You can repeat the affirmation, "I am prosperous," 1,000 times a day with your conscious mind. But if while doing so you feel the anxiety of bills to pay, if you feel the contraction of scarcity, what real order is your subconscious receiving? You are planting a seed of wheat with your lips, but you are watering it with the poison of fear and doubt. And your subconscious, which responds to the language of emotion above all else, will grow the harvest of the dominant feeling. The true formula for mental reprogramming is thought plus feeling, belief. A clear and defined thought, the seed, consistently watered with a congruent emotion, the water, is what creates the conviction, the belief, that the subconscious accepts as an irrevocable command. Your subconscious doesn't respond to what you think. It responds to what you feel about what you think. The feeling is the seal that validates the order for the engine room. The challenge, and where most people get stuck, is that we have been conditioned to believe that our emotions are uncontrollable reactions to external events. We believe we need the world to change first so we can feel good. When I have more money, I will feel secure. When I find the perfect partner, I will feel loved. When I get that promotion, I will feel successful. The master of the mind inverts this formula. They know they don't have to wait for the world to change their feeling. They know they can, through disciplined imagination and gratitude, generate the feeling of the wish fulfilled right now, regardless of external circumstances. And they know that by holding that feeling, they are activating the cause that, by law, must produce the effect in their world. You don't wait to see to believe. You choose to believe and feel so you can see. This is faith in its most practical and scientific sense. Faith is not blind hope. It is the conscious act of holding a belief and a feeling within you with such conviction that your subconscious mind has no choice but to accept it as your new truth. Practice, cultivating empowering beliefs and emotions. These exercises are designed to help you move from being an emotional reactor to a conscious generator of your state of being. Exercise 1, the root belief diagnosis. Take an area of your life where you feel stuck. Now we are going to dig to find the root belief that is sustaining that reality. Use the why technique. Situation: I don't have enough money to comfortably make ends meet. Question 1. Why do I believe this is so? Because my income is not high enough. Question 2. Why do I believe my income is not high enough? Because I don't have the skills to get a better paying job. Question 3. Why do I believe I don't have the skills? Because I didn't go to a good university. Question 4. And what does not having gone to a good university mean? It means I'm not as smart or capable as other people. Root belief: I am not good or smart enough to deserve wealth. This root belief is the true cause. Your financial situation is just the symptom. Bring at least one of your limiting root beliefs to the light of consciousness. Exercise 2, the belief transfusion. Now that you have identified the limiting belief, you are going to use a powerful technique to begin dissolving and replacing it. Step A. Find the contrary evidence. Your belief is held because your brain has been collecting evidence in its favor. Now, you are going to become a detective who deliberately looks for evidence against it. Take your root belief, I'm not good enough, and search your entire life story for at least 5 pieces of evidence that contradict it. 5 moments where you were smart, you were capable, you were successful, no matter how small they were. Write them down. Step B, create your antidote. Formulate a new, empowering belief that is the direct opposite of the old one. In this case, it could be, I am smart, capable, and absolutely worthy of immense prosperity. Step C, the emotional immersion. For the next 7 days, your practice is to read this list of positive evidence and then repeat your new belief over and over, not mechanically, but by feeling the emotion it would generate if it were your absolute truth. Feel capable, feel worthy, feel prosperous. You are withdrawing the water from the old poisonous seed and watering the new one. Exercise 3, the feeling generator. You don't have to wait for something good to happen to feel good. You can generate any emotion you want at will. Choose an emotion you want to cultivate, the one that is the seal of your wish fulfilled. It can be peace, joy, confidence, or gratitude. Now, close your eyes. Don't try to think about that emotion. Instead, remember a moment from your past, any moment where you felt that emotion naturally and powerfully. Immerse yourself in that memory. Relive it with all your senses. What did you see? What did you hear? Who were you with? Feel the chemistry of that emotion begin to flood your body again. Once you feel the emotion, let go of the memory and stay only with the feeling. Hold it in your body for 1 or 2 minutes. This practice, performed daily, teaches you that you are the source of your own feelings. You stop being dependent on the external world for your happiness and become a master of your own state. Your reality is malleable. It is clay waiting for the sculptor's hands. Your beliefs are the hands that shape it, and your emotions are the force that those hands apply. You are not a victim of a predetermined world. You are an artist, and the canvas is your own life. Chapter 3. The language of the subconscious. Imagination over logic. You've discovered the currency of the universe, belief watered with emotion. Faced with this knowledge, our conscious mind's natural reaction is to declare war on its own limiting beliefs. Armed with willpower, we try to rip out the weeds by force. We tell ourselves with martial discipline, I will no longer think about scarcity. I have to stop worrying. I'm going to force myself to be confident. We enter a pitched battle against our own mental patterns, believing that with enough effort and struggle, we can subdue them. And almost always, we fail miserably. The more we fight a thought, the stronger it becomes. The more we force ourselves to feel something, the more elusive that emotion becomes. We end up exhausted, frustrated, and convinced we lack the necessary willpower to change. But the problem isn't a lack of will. The problem is we're using the wrong tool. We're trying to speak to the engine room in a language it doesn't understand, and one that even causes the opposite effect. The French psychologist Émile Coué formulated a fundamental law of the mind that explains this perfectly: the law of reversed effort. The law states that, when the will and the imagination are in conflict, the imagination always wins, without exception. Let's consider a simple example. Imagine a wooden plank 10 meters long and 1 meter wide placed on the floor. Could you walk on it from one end to the other without falling? Of course, with complete ease. It requires almost no effort from your will. Now imagine that same wooden plank placed between the rooftops of 200-story buildings. Could you walk on it now? Your will, your conscious desire to cross, is the same. But now your imagination has entered the equation. You start to imagine the fall, the emptiness, the terrible end. The harder you try to force yourself to walk, the more vivid the images of falling become. Your imagination of failure paralyzes your will for success. The conflict has begun, and imagination will always win. This principle operates in every aspect of our lives. When you try to force yourself to sleep, your imagination fills with images of you tossing and turning, and the result is insomnia. It's only when you surrender and stop trying that the forgotten name suddenly appears in your consciousness. The struggle, the forced effort, the tension. These are the language of the conscious captain, but the subconscious does not respond to force. It responds to a much more subtle, ancient, and powerful language. The native language of the subconscious. If we want to communicate effectively with the engine room, we must stop shouting orders in the captain's language and start whispering in the crew's native tongue. This language is composed of 3 main elements. The first is images and symbols. The subconscious mind thinks in pictures. It is pre-verbal. If I say, "Don't think about your house," it's too late. The image of your house has already appeared in your mind. The image is instantaneous, holistic, and loaded with meaning. The conscious mind, in contrast, thinks in words, which are linear and abstract. The subconscious doesn't process negatives well. When you tell yourself, "I don't want to be sick," the image your subconscious receives is that of sickness. That's why visualization is one of the most powerful reprogramming tools that exist. A clear and vivid image of your goal is a direct and understandable command for your subconscious. The second element is feeling and emotion. As we saw in the previous chapter, feeling is the water that makes the seed of thought germinate. The subconscious is the emotional mind. You can have a mental image of a bank account with $1 million, but if you feel the anxiety of doubt or the frustration of lack when you see it, the message your subconscious receives is not $1 million, but anxiety and lack. Emotion is the signature that validates the command. An image, no matter how clear, has little power if it's emotionally neutral. But an image, even a blurry one, if it's charged with the feeling of joy, peace, or gratitude, is a top priority command. The third element is stories and metaphors. The subconscious loves narratives. A simple story can bypass the critical filter of the conscious mind and plant a powerful idea directly into the subconscious garden. This is why parables and myths have been humanity's most powerful teaching tools for millennia. When you hear a story, your conscious mind relaxes and follows the plot, but your subconscious mind absorbs the symbolic message and the hero's transformation as if it were its own. Telling yourself a new story about your life is one of the most effective ways to rewrite your internal script. Images, feelings, and stories. This is the language we must learn to speak. And the faculty that allows us to use this language is the imagination. Here is where we must correct another cultural misunderstanding. We often consider imagination a form of childish escapism, an unproductive daydreaming. Nothing could be further from the truth. Imagination, when used in a disciplined way, is not an escape from reality. It is the workshop where the reality of the future is forged. Every bridge, every symphony, every business first existed as an image in someone's imagination. Imagination is the creative faculty of God in man. It is the portal through which the infinite power of your subconscious takes form. Imagination is the master key because it resolves the conflict between will and belief. When you try to force a result with will, you are fighting against your current programming. But when you use imagination, you don't fight against anything. You simply create a new blueprint, a new possibility. The conscious mind registers it as just imagining, so it lowers its defenses and offers no resistance. But the subconscious mind, which doesn't distinguish between a real experience and a vividly imagined one, takes that blueprint and accepts it as a new command. It begins to work immediately to turn that image into your physical reality. The most powerful use of imagination and the core of JosephMurphy's teaching is to evoke the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Don't imagine the process, often long and difficult, of achieving your goal. Imagine the final scene. Imagine that your desire is already a fait accompli. Don't imagine getting the job. Imagine celebrating after your first successful month. Don't imagine earning the money. Imagine enjoying the security and freedom that money has already given you. The goal is to generate the feeling of naturalness within you, the feeling that this, for you, is already normal. When you can feel the emotion of your wish fulfilled as a natural present state, you have convinced your subconscious. You have planted the seed and watered it with the feeling of certainty. From there, the growth is automatic. Practice training your disciplined imagination. Exercise 1, the relaxation experiment. This simple exercise will give you a direct physical experience of the law of reversed effort. Step A, the effort. Sit comfortably and now, try to force yourself to relax. Clench your fists, tense your shoulders, and mentally order yourself harshly. I must relax now. I must be calm. Observe what happens in your body. You'll notice you get even more tense. Your will and your actual state are in conflict. Step B, the imagination. Now release all tension. Instead of ordering yourself to do anything, just start to imagine. Imagine the feeling of floating in a pool of perfectly warm water on a sunny day. Feel the soft embrace of the water on your skin. Feel your body become light and weightless. Hear the gentle murmur of the water. Don't try to relax. Just immerse yourself in the imaginary scene and the feeling of relaxation. Watch how, without any effort, your muscles begin to loosen and your breathing becomes deeper. You have used the correct language. Exercise 2, the mental rehearsal. Choose a small upcoming event that generates a bit of anxiety for you. It could be a difficult conversation, a small presentation at work, or even a date. Instead of worrying about it, which is a negative use of imagination visualizing failure, you are going to perform a positive mental rehearsal. Close your eyes for 2 minutes. Imagine the scene, not as it might happen, but as you would like it to happen in its perfect version. Don't focus on the exact words you'll say. Focus on the feeling. Imagine yourself feeling completely calm, confident, and eloquent. Visualize the other person smiling and receptive. Feel the emotion of satisfaction at the end of the encounter, the feeling of a job well done. Repeat this 2-minute mental movie several times in the days or hours leading up to the event. You are not trying to control the future. You are programming your inner state so you enter the situation from a place of confidence and calm, which drastically increases the chances of a positive outcome. Stop struggling. Start imagining. Your willpower is a limited tool, like a battering ram trying to knock down a castle gate. Your imagination is the master key that opens the door effortlessly. It is your direct communication channel to the creative power of your subconscious mind, the giant that patiently awaits your blueprints to begin building. Now that we understand that imagination and feeling are the language we must use, we are ready to learn the specific and most powerful techniques to communicate with our inner giant. We will explore the art of autosuggestion, the precise method for deliberately sowing the seeds of the reality we wish to create. Chapter 4, Autosuggestion, the Art of Sowing New Thoughts. The word suggestion may evoke images of stage hypnotists, but at its purest essence, a suggestion is simply an idea or a concept introduced into the mind with the goal of being accepted. We live immersed in an ocean of suggestions every day. An ad on TV suggests you need a new car to be happy. A news headline suggests the world is a dangerous place. A well-intentioned friend suggests your plan is too risky. Most of us are passive recipients of these external suggestions. We allow other seeds to plant their roots in our garden without questioning them. Autosuggestion is the act of taking control of this process. It is the art of becoming your own hypnotist, of consciously choosing the seeds you want to plant in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. The principle is simple. Every suggestion, repeated with enough frequency and emotion, is eventually accepted by the subconscious and becomes a deeply rooted belief. And once it becomes a belief, the subconscious will do everything in its power to manifest it in your reality. Autosuggestion is not superficial positive thinking. It is a surgical technique for rewriting your internal script. For an autosuggestion or affirmation to be truly effective, it must follow a series of principles. Ignoring these principles is the reason why affirmations fail for so many people. The first principle, simplicity and clarity. Your subconscious mind is like a child. It doesn't respond well to complexity, long sentences, or abstract concepts. It needs a clear, brief, and direct command. An affirmation like, "I am in the process of developing a multifaceted strategy to improve my financial situation," is useless. It's too long, too intellectual. Your subconscious tunes out. Instead, an affirmation like, "Money flows to me easily and constantly," is infinitely more powerful. It is simple, direct, and a clear image. The second principle, the present tense. This is perhaps the most common mistake. We often formulate our desires in the future tense. I will be rich. I will get that job. I will be healthy. By doing this, we are giving a very precise command to the subconscious to keep that desire in the future. And the subconscious obediently ensures that wealth, the job, or health are always a little further on the horizon, but never here and now. The subconscious only operates in the eternal present. To impress it, you must formulate your affirmation as if your desire were already a fait accompli. Not "I will be," but "I am." Not "I will have," but "I have." By affirming your desire in the present tense, you create the sensation that it is already a reality on the mental plane, which is the only plane your subconscious understands. The third principle, the emotional charge. As we have seen, a thought without emotion is a seed without water. You can repeat a phrase 1,000 times, but if you do it mechanically, like a parrot, it will have very little effect. The key for an affirmation to penetrate the subconscious is to feel the emotion of the affirmation as if it were already true. Before you start repeating your affirmation, take a moment to evoke the feeling. If your affirmation is, "I am a success," close your eyes for a moment and ask yourself, how would I feel if this were absolutely true right now? Perhaps you would feel calm, confident, grateful, joyful. Connect with that emotion. Let it flood your body. And then from that emotional state, start repeating your affirmation. Now, the words are not just words. They are vehicles loaded with the energy that your subconscious needs to start building. The fourth principle, persistence. Planting a seed once and expecting a harvest is absurd. Subconscious reprogramming is not a single act. It is a process. It requires constant and persistent repetition to overcome decades of old programming. Imagine your old limiting beliefs as deep grooves in a dirt road. A single pass by a new car will not create a new route. You need to drive on the new path again and again, day after day, until the new groove is deeper and easier to follow than the old one. Repetition creates the habit, and the habit becomes the belief. With these four principles in mind, simplicity, present tense, emotional charge, and persistence, we can build incredibly powerful affirmations for any area of our lives. Practice. Building your master affirmations. This exercise will guide you to create your own personalized autosuggestions. Step 1. Identify the goal. Choose an area of your life you want to transform. Be specific. Don't choose, "I want to be happy." Choose something more concrete. For example, I want to be more confident in my professional skills. Step 2. Transform the desire into a fact. Take your goal and rewrite it as a short, clear, present tense affirmation. If the goal is, I want to be more confident, the affirmation becomes, I am secure and confident in my work. If the goal is, I need more money, the affirmation becomes, money comes to me in abundance and without effort. If the goal is, I hope to find a harmonious relationship, the affirmation becomes, I am in a wonderful relationship based on love and mutual respect. Step 3. Add the emotional charge. Now add a phrase that describes the feeling of your wish fulfilled. This personalizes the affirmation and makes it much more potent. I am secure and confident in my work, and I feel a deep calm and competence in everything I do. Money comes to me in abundance and without effort, and I feel immense gratitude and freedom. I am in a wonderful relationship based on love and mutual respect, and I feel completely happy and fulfilled. Step 4. The imprinting ritual. Now that you have your master affirmation, you need a ritual to plant it consistently. The best way to do this is through what JosephMurphy called the lullaby technique. Choose a moment. The best time is at night just before you fall asleep, in that drowsy state where the conscious mind is about to turn off. Prepare. Lie down comfortably, relax your body. Repeat like a lullaby. Start repeating your affirmation over and over, softly or mentally. Don't do it with effort. Do it passively, gently, as if you were lulling yourself to sleep. The key is to reach a state of passive acceptance, where you are no longer trying to believe, you are simply absorbing the idea. Fall asleep with the feeling. The goal is for the last conscious idea you have before sleeping to be your affirmation, and above all, the feeling that accompanies it. This way, your subconscious mind will work on that idea all night long. Perform this ritual every night with persistence. Remember that you are reversing years of programming. Be patient and trust the process. Overcoming common obstacles. While you practice, you may encounter resistance from your conscious mind. This is silly, it will tell you. You're lying to yourself. This is normal. It's the old captain trying to maintain control. When this happens, don't fight that voice. Simply acknowledge it kindly and return to your practice. With each repetition of your affirmation, you are weakening the authority of the old captain and strengthening your direct connection to the engine room. Another obstacle is impatience. We want immediate results. But growth in nature has its own rhythm. You don't unearth the seed every day to see if it's growing. You plant it, you water it, and you trust that the law of growth will do its job. In the same way, once you have planted your affirmation in the subconscious, let go of the need to see immediate results. Continue with your practice with a quiet faith, knowing that you have set an infallible law in motion. Autosuggestion is the act of consciously choosing the seeds you want to see flourish in your life. It is reclaiming your power as the gardener of your own reality. It is the deliberate dialogue with the giant you carry within. Chapter 5. The Mind's Cinema. The Magic of Visualization. Your subconscious mind thinks in images. It's its native language. If I say the word success, your conscious mind understands the abstract concept. But your subconscious mind immediately searches for an image. Perhaps a picture of an office with your name on the door, your family smiling on vacation, or an audience applauding. The image is instantaneous, holistic, and, unlike words, always accompanied by an emotion. For this reason, disciplined imagination, the act of deliberately creating images in your mind, is the most powerful tool you possess for subconscious reprogramming. This is not simple daydreaming or escapist fantasy. Visualization, when practiced correctly, is the act of drawing the architectural blueprint of your future reality and delivering it to the master builder, that is your subconscious. The most potent technique for this is what we will call the mental movie technique. It consists of becoming the screenwriter, director, and lead actor of a brief scene that represents your desire already fulfilled. It's not a documentary about how you are going to achieve your goal. It's a short film that shows the happy ending. The fundamental principle that makes this technique so powerful is the key to all manifestation, evoking the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Your subconscious doesn't respond to the image of the car you want to have. It responds to the feeling of freedom you believe the car will give you. It doesn't respond to the image of a bank account with a certain number. It responds to the feeling of security and peace you associate with that number. Therefore, the mental movie should not focus on the struggle to achieve something. It must focus on the moment after you have already achieved it. Don't visualize the act of receiving the check. Visualize the act of paying your bills with a smile and a feeling of relief and gratitude. Don't visualize the difficult conversation. Visualize the embrace of reconciliation that comes after. By focusing on the end and feeling it as real, you are generating the emotional signature that your subconscious recognizes as a command to materialize. Creating your master film is an art. It requires clarity, sensoriality, and above all, feeling. Creating your master film, a step-by-step guide. Step 1. Define the happy ending. The first step is to have absolute clarity about what you desire. And then, to condense that desire into a single brief scene that unequivocally implies its fulfillment. The scene should be short, no more than 10 to 20 seconds, so you can easily repeat it in a loop. If your desire is to heal from an illness, the final scene is not the treatment, but your doctor looking at you in awe and saying, "It's a miracle, you are completely healthy." Or perhaps the scene is you doing a physical activity you couldn't do before, like running on the beach, feeling the breeze and the strength in your legs. If your desire is prosperity, the scene could be a conversation with your partner where you joyfully say, "We've paid off all our debts, we are free." Or the scene of you looking at your online bank statement and feeling a deep sense of peace and security. If your desire is to find your ideal partner, the scene is not the first date. It's a moment that implies a happy commitment. Maybe you looking at a ring on your finger with immense joy, or hearing your partner say, "I love you." The scene must be personal, meaningful, and generate a strong, positive emotional response in you. Step 2. Activate all senses. Once you have the scene, your job as a director is to make it as real as possible for your subconscious. To do this, you must involve all your senses. Close your eyes and immerse yourself in your film. Sight. Don't just see the scene, look at the details. What colors dominate? What is the lighting like? What are you wearing? What is the expression on the faces of the people around you? Make it vivid. Sound. What sounds do you hear in your scene? Are they words of congratulations from someone? The sound of the keys to your new house? The laughter of your children? The murmur of a restaurant celebrating? Adding sound turns the scene from a photograph into a movie. Touch. This is a very powerful sense. What do you feel on your skin? Is it the embrace of a loved one? The feel of the steering wheel of your new car? The texture of an important document you are signing? Feel the weight, the temperature, the solidity of the objects in your scene. Smell and taste. Often forgotten, these senses are deeply connected to memory and emotion. Is there a smell in your scene? The smell of new paint in your house? Your partner's perfume? The taste of champagne at a celebration? The more sensory details you can incorporate, the more real the experience will become for your subconscious mind. You are building a synthetic memory as powerful as a real one. Step 3. Feel the central emotion. This is the climax of your film, the secret ingredient. While you visualize the scene with all your senses, identify the dominant emotion you would feel if that were real right now. It is not a superficial emotion like excitement. It is a deep feeling of the soul. Is it gratitude, relief, freedom, peace, serene joy, love? Once you identify that central emotion, focus on it. Let it flood you. Feel it expand from your heart or your stomach to every cell of your body. This emotion is the signature, the seal that tells your subconscious, this is real. This has already happened. Step 4. Repeat the scene in a loop. Now that you have your sensorially and emotionally charged film, your job is to project it. Repeat the brief scene in your mind over and over again, in a continuous loop. The goal is for the scene to become so familiar, so natural, that it loses its fantasy quality and takes on the quality of a tranquil and certain memory. Practice your private screening session. Exercise 1. The script for your film. Take your journal. Based on the 4 steps above, write the script for your mental movie. It doesn't have to be long. Desire title, e.g. financial freedom. The final scene, e.g. I'm sitting on the balcony of my house looking at the sea. I check my bank app on my phone and see the balance that allows me to live without worries. I smile. Sensory details. Sight. The bright blue of the sea, the sun reflecting on the water, the clear numbers on my phone screen. Sound. The gentle sound of the waves, the singing of birds. Touch. The warmth of the sun on my skin, the breeze, the smoothness of the coffee cup in my hands. Smell. Taste. The smell of coffee and the sea. Central emotion. Deep peace. A sense of relief and gratitude that relaxes my whole body. Having your script written down will give you immense clarity and help you focus your visualization session each time. Exercise 2. The nightly cinema ritual. As we learned with autosuggestion, the most powerful time to imprint the subconscious is in the drowsy state, just before you fall asleep. This is your time for your private screening session. Step A. Lie down comfortably and relax your body completely. Enter that state of reverie where you are not quite awake but not yet asleep. Step B. Now start projecting your mental movie. Load the scene with all the sensory details and above all with the central emotion. Step C. Repeat the scene in a loop over and over, gently and effortlessly. If you get distracted, simply return kindly to your film. Step D. The goal is to fall asleep while living and feeling your wish fulfilled. Let the last consciousness you have before falling asleep be the emotion of your reality already manifested. By doing this, you give your subconscious mind a clear task and a detailed blueprint to work on all night long, reconfiguring your beliefs and attracting the circumstances necessary for its manifestation. Your imagination is not an escape from reality. It is the projector that illuminates it. It is the architect's tool with which you design your future. What you project with faith and feeling on the screen of your mind, your subconscious will accept as a command and will build it, brick by brick, in the workshop of the world. Chapter 6. The Power of Sleep. Programming your mind while you sleep. Imagine you want a private audience with the king of a vast empire to present him with a project that will change the kingdom. During the day, the king is in his throne room, surrounded by his council of ministers, his guards, and countless courtiers competing for his attention. This is the conscious king, your waking mind. If you try to approach, your message will be analyzed, debated, and rejected by the skeptical advisors, doubt, logic, fear, before it even reaches the monarch's ears. But at night, the king retires to his private chambers. The advisors are gone. The court's hustle and bustle dies down. There is a brief magical moment just before the king falls into a deep sleep, when his mind is calm, receptive, and alone. If you could whisper your message in his ear at that precise instant, it would enter his consciousness directly, without filters or resistance. This is the perfect metaphor for the dynamics of your mind. Twice every 24 hours, the gatekeeper, your conscious and critical mind, lowers its guard. These are the golden moments for reprogramming, the direct portals to the throne room of your subconscious. These two moments are the drowsy state, the period of reverie just before you fall asleep at night, and the similar period just after you wake up in the morning, before your conscious mind is fully active. Dr. JosephMurphy, like many other masters of the mind throughout history, insisted that these moments are by far the most powerful for sowing the seeds of your desires. Why? Because in this state, scientifically known as the alpha or theta brainwave state, the activity of your conscious mind and its critical faculty are reduced to a minimum. The door between the conscious and subconscious worlds opens wide. In this state of passive receptivity, your subconscious mind is extraordinarily suggestible. An idea planted at this moment is like a seed planted in the most fertile, freshly plowed soil. Ignoring the power of these moments is one of the biggest mistakes we make in our search for personal transformation. We often do the opposite. The last thought we have before sleeping is usually a worry. We mentally review the day's problems, tomorrow's anxieties, and difficult conversations. We fall asleep in a bath of negative emotions. By doing this, we are unknowingly giving our subconscious a blueprint for more problems and more anxiety, and ordering it to work on it for the next 8 hours. And then we wonder why we wake up feeling tired and anxious. In the same way, the first thing many people do upon waking up is grab their phone. We immediately flood our newly awakened, highly suggestible mind with world news, urgent emails, and social media comparisons. We are allowing the chaos of the external world to dictate the first order of the day for our subconscious, instead of consciously setting the tone of our reality ourselves. Taking control of these two daily portals is an act of sovereignty over your own mind. It is the equivalent of ensuring you have a private and exclusive audience with the king every night and every morning. The nightly programming techniques. Technique 1. The subconscious lullaby for affirmation. This is your main tool for programming through words. It consists of reducing your desire to a single short, powerful phrase and repeating it like a lullaby until you fall asleep. The key here is passivity. Choose your lullaby. Condense your wish fulfilled into a brief phrase. If you seek prosperity, it could be, "Thank you for my wealth." If you seek healing, "I am healthy and at peace." If you seek confidence, "I am brave and secure." The phrase should feel good. It must resonate. The process. Once you're lying down and in that drowsy state, start repeating your lullaby over and over. Do it softly, calmly, with feeling. There is no effort. There is no intense concentration. The sensation should be one of passive acceptance, as if you are listening to a soft melody. The goal is for this phrase to be the last conscious thought you have before you sink into sleep. You are delivering your command and now you can rest, knowing that your crew will work all night to make it a reality. Technique 2, the nightly cinema for visualization. If your mind responds better to images, this is your technique. It is the act of projecting your mental movie at the moment of maximum receptivity. Load your film. Before you begin, be clear about what your happy ending scene is. That brief 10-second film that implies your desire is already a fact. The process. In the drowsy state, begin to project your film on the screen of your mind. Don't just watch it, feel it. Immerse yourself in it with all your senses. Feel the central emotion of your wish fulfilled. Gratitude, relief, joy. Repeat the scene in a loop, over and over, until it feels real and familiar. The goal is to fall asleep inside the scene, feeling the emotion as if it were your present reality. Technique 3, the nightly counsel for problem solving. Sometimes we don't seek to manifest a desire, but to find the answer to a complex problem. The subconscious is a source of immense creative intelligence. The process. In your drowsy state, present your problem to your subconscious mind clearly and simply, as if you were speaking to a wise counselor. For example, "Infinite intelligence of my subconscious, you know the perfect solution to this business challenge. You know the next correct step. I hand this problem over to you now. I trust you to process all the variables and reveal the answer to me at the right time and in the right way." The act of faith. After making the request, the most important step is to let it go. Release the need to solve it consciously. Go to sleep with the quiet confidence that a higher intelligence is working on it. Often, the answer will come unexpectedly, as a clear idea upon waking in the morning in a dream or through a synchronicity during the next day. Practice your conscious sleep ritual. Exercise 1, the sleep sanctuary. Your bedroom is not a second office or a movie theater. For these techniques to work, you must create an environment that signals to your brain that it's time to enter a state of deep relaxation. The hour before rule. During the hour before bed, disconnect from screens, TV, phone, computer. The blue light from screens suppresses melatonin and keeps your brain in a state of alertness. Instead, read an inspiring book, listen to relaxing music, take a warm bath, or talk with a loved one. Total darkness. Make sure your room is as dark as possible. Darkness is the most powerful signal for your brain to initiate the sleep process. Exercise 2. Choose your nightly technique. Don't try to do all 3 techniques at once. Choose one that aligns with your main goal right now. If your goal is to install a new general belief, wealth confidence, use the subconscious lullaby. If you have a very specific and visual desire, a house, a job, use the nightly cinema. If you are stuck on a problem and need clarity, use the nightly counsel. Commit to using that single technique every night for at least 1 month. Exercise 3. The Dawn Journal. Place a notebook and a pen on your nightstand. The golden rule. When you wake up, before you move, before you think about your day, and especially before you touch your phone, be still. The reception. Pay attention. What ideas, feelings, or images are present in your mind? Often, this is your subconscious's response to your request from the night before. The capture. Immediately write down anything that arises. The ideas that come in this state are often the most brilliant and valuable. Don't rely on your memory. Capture them before the day's noise erases them. Your day ends, but your mind never rests. Sleep is not a pause in the creation of your life. It is when the deepest work is done. By taking conscious control of the portals of sleep and waking, you stop being a part-time programmer. You become a 24-hour architect of reality, sculpting your destiny even while you sleep. Chapter 7. The Secret of Gratitude, the Thank You that Manifests. In our culture, we often relegate gratitude to a simple formality. It's the word we say after receiving a gift, a social courtesy, a polite response. But true gratitude, the kind that has the power to transform reality, is not a reaction to something we have received. It is a cause. It is a state of being. It is, perhaps, the highest vibrational frequency a human being can emit. The law of the subconscious is clear. It manifests what we accept and feel as a present truth. And here lies the magical secret of gratitude. When do you feel genuine and profound gratitude? You feel it after your wish has been fulfilled. You feel it after you have received the good news, after you have healed, after you have reached the goal. Gratitude is the natural emotional signature of the wish fulfilled. Therefore, when you learn to feel gratitude before your desire manifests in the physical world, you are performing the most powerful act of faith there is. You are sending your subconscious mind the most unequivocal signal possible that the outcome you desire is not something you hope for, but something that has already happened on the plane of consciousness. You are closing the loop. You are feeling the end, and your subconscious, upon receiving this powerful emotional imprint of a fait accompli, has no choice but to get to work to align your external reality with this internal truth that you have already accepted. Gratitude in this sense is not a request. It is a declaration. It shifts from the energy of begging, please, please let this happen, to the energy of receiving, thank you, because this is already mine. It is the fundamental shift from a consciousness of poverty to a consciousness of wealth. The consciousness of poverty focuses on what is missing. The consciousness of wealth focuses, with gratitude, on what is already possessed, both on the visible and invisible planes. The power of gratitude also has a neurobiological basis. When we cultivate a state of gratitude, our brain releases dopamine and serotonin, the same neurotransmitters associated with happiness and well-being. It literally makes us feel good. It reduces the production of cortisol, the stress hormone, taking us out of fight or flight mode, which is the mode of scarcity, and putting us into a rest and digest state, the mode of receptivity and growth. A brain bathed in gratitude is a brain that is more creative, more resilient, and much more receptive to solutions and opportunities. There are two main ways to practice gratitude as a tool for manifestation. Gratitude for the present. This is the foundation. Before you can feel gratitude for what is not yet seen, you must cultivate the ability to feel it for what is already here. We often take the wonders that surround us for granted. The mind, in its constant search for more, ignores the abundance we already possess. The practice of gratitude for the present trains your mind to change its perceptual filter. It pulls it out of the habit of scanning the world for problems and lack, and trains it to scan the world for blessings and beauty. This practice is simple. Every day, consciously identify things you are grateful for. But don't do it mechanically. The secret is specificity and feeling. Don't just say, I'm grateful for my house. Go further. Say, I am deeply grateful for the warmth of my bed this morning, for the security of this roof over my head, for the sound of the rain on the window while I felt safe and comfortable. Feel the gratitude in your body. Don't say, I'm grateful for my health. Say, I'm grateful for the strength of my legs that allows me to walk, for my lungs that breathe air effortlessly, for my eyes that allow me to see the colors of this world. By practicing this, you don't just improve your mood, You are tuning your vibration to the frequency of abundance. You are telling your subconscious, I live in a generous universe where I already possess so much. I am ready to receive more. Gratitude for the future as if it were present. Once you have cultivated the state of gratitude for what you already have, you are ready to take the quantum leap. You are ready to start using gratitude as the ultimate manifestation tool. This is the technique of thankfulness that Joseph Murphy spoke of. It consists of being thankful for your specific desire as if you had already received it. It is the act of living in the end, not with hope, but with a quiet and thankful faith. Practice the manifesting gratitude ritual. Exercise 1, the present gratitude journal. This is your daily training to tune into abundance. Every morning before you start your day, write in your journal 3 specific things you are grateful for in this moment. Follow the rule of specificity and feeling. Every night before you go to sleep, write down 3 new things that happened that day for which you are grateful. This trains you to look for the good in your daily experience. It can be something as simple as a pleasant conversation, a delicious meal, or a moment of peace. This practice, on its own, has the power to transform your perspective and your emotional state in a matter of weeks. Exercise 2, the future gratitude prayer. This is your tool to manifest a specific desire. It is not a prayer of supplication, it is a prayer of affirmation. Step A, define your desire with clarity. As always, know exactly what you want, e.g., to get the marketing director position. Step B, formulate the gratitude statement. Now take it as a given that you have already received it and express your gratitude. Write your prayer in the past or present tense. Example: Thank you, infinite intelligence of my subconscious, for guiding me to the perfect job for me. I am immensely grateful for this opportunity to use my talents, for the wonderful compensation I receive, and for the fantastic team I work with. I feel a deep joy and satisfaction. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Step C, the feeling ritual. Read this declaration every night in your drowsy state. But don't just read the words. Your real job is to feel the emotion of gratitude. Feel as if you have just hung up the phone after receiving the news that you got the job. Let the emotion of victory, relief, and gratitude flood you. Feel that emotion in your heart, in your stomach. Fall asleep in that state of thankfulness, overcoming doubt. How can I be grateful for something I don't have? This is the logical question your conscious mind will raise. The answer is simple. You don't do it with your logical mind. You do it with your disciplined imagination. Your subconscious mind, as we already know, does not distinguish between what is real and what is vividly imagined. Your job is not to lie to yourself. Your job is to play a role. You are an actor on the stage of your mind. And for the 5 minutes of your practice, your role is that of the person who has already achieved their desire. A good actor doesn't pretend to feel the emotion. They genuinely generate it from within. If you find it hard to feel grateful for something that seems very far away, start with something smaller and more believable. If your goal is $1 million and it seems impossible, start by being thankful for an unexpected sum of $100. When that manifests, your faith will be strengthened and you can move on to the next level. Build your faith muscle with gratitude, step by step. Gratitude is the bridge between the dimension of the idea and the dimension of form. It is the final seal you place on your command to the subconscious. It is the frequency that tells the universe not I want, but I am ready to receive. When your desire is preceded by a thank you, you stop being a beggar who asks and you become a co-creator who recognizes a truth that is about to manifest. We have learned to communicate with our subconscious. We have learned to give it clear commands through auto-suggestion and visualization. And now, we have learned to seal those commands with the power of gratitude. We are equipped with the fundamental tools of reprogramming. Chapter 8, Your Right to be Rich, Programming for Prosperity. This is one of the greatest acts of sabotage we have perpetuated against ourselves. Life, by its very nature, is expansive. A tree does not try to grow just a little. It grows as tall and as leafy as it can. A river does not try to flow with a trickle of water. It flows with all the abundance its banks allow. Abundance, growth, and full expression are the fundamental impulses of the universe. Poverty, limitation, and scarcity are, in reality, a distortion of this natural impulse. You have the right to be rich, and it is not a selfish right. In fact, it is one of the noblest aspirations you can have. Being rich is not simply about accumulating luxuries for oneself. It is about having the freedom and resources to live your life to its fullest expression, to develop your talents without the constant worry of survival, and to have the ability to help others in a meaningful way. A person with a kind heart but empty pockets can offer sympathy. A person with a kind heart and an abundance of resources can build a hospital. Your desire for wealth, when it comes from a place of purpose, is the desire to have a greater positive impact on the world. Therefore, the first step to programming prosperity into your subconscious is to give your conscious mind permission to desire it without guilt. It is to accept wealth not as a necessary evil, but as a natural expression of a life well lived. Once we have cleared this fundamental belief, we can begin to understand why so many intelligent and hardworking people struggle with money their whole lives. The reason is that they have cultivated a poverty consciousness. They live mentally in a state of lack, and their subconscious obediently reproduces that lack in their financial reality. Poverty consciousness manifests in habitual thoughts and phrases. Phrases like, "There's never enough money," "I can't afford it," "The rich get richer and the poor get poorer," "I hate people with money." Every time you say or think one of these phrases, you are planting a belladonna seed in your garden. You are giving a clear command to your subconscious to keep you in a state of limitation. To attract wealth, you must stop condemning it. You must start deliberately cultivating a wealth consciousness. This doesn't mean ignoring your current financial situation. It means ceasing to identify with it. Your current bank statement is simply the result, the harvest, of your past thinking. It is not your identity. You are the gardener, not the harvest, and you have the power at this very moment to start planting new seeds. A consciousness of wealth is cultivated through the deliberate practice of the tools we already know, applied specifically to the topic of money. Applying the tools for prosperity. 1. The auto-suggestion of wealth. Your task is to create a subconscious lullaby that encapsulates your new financial reality. It must be short, simple, and powerful. JosephMurphy often recommended a simple word that, for the person, symbolized the totality of their wish fulfilled. A word like wealth or success. At night, in your drowsy state, start repeating this word over and over softly and with feeling. Feel what wealth means to you. It's not just money. It's freedom. It's security. It's the ability to be generous. Feel that emotion as you repeat the word. Fall asleep with the word wealth resonating in your mind. By doing so, you are imprinting your subconscious with the essence of abundance. If you prefer a phrase, you can use something like, "Money flows to me freely, copiously, and endlessly, for my good and the good of all." The last part is crucial, as it neutralizes any feeling of guilt, assuring your subconscious that your prosperity benefits everyone. 2. The visualization of an abundant life. Now let's create your mental movie of prosperity. Remember, don't visualize the act of getting the money. Visualize the result, the life that abundance allows you to live. Create your final scene. Choose a scene that for you is the unequivocal symbol of financial freedom. It doesn't have to be extravagant. It could be the simple act of going to a restaurant and looking at the menu from right to left. Looking at what you want to eat first, not the price. It could be the act of making a generous donation to a cause you care about, feeling the joy of giving. It could be the act of booking a dream vacation for your family with a single click and without any anxiety. Load it with feeling and emotion. Immerse yourself in that scene. Feel the menu in your hands. Hear the laughter of your family. Feel the warmth in your heart as you make the donation. And above all, identify the central emotion. Is it peace? Freedom? Joy? Security? Anchor that emotion in your body. Project it regularly. Use this mental movie in your nightly reprogramming sessions. Make it so real and so familiar that your subconscious accepts it as a memory. 3. The practice of prosperous gratitude. This is the accelerator. Start living in the gratitude of your wealth here and now. Be grateful for what you have. Every time you pay a bill, instead of feeling the contraction of loss, pause and give thanks. Be thankful for the service you received: electricity, water, food. Be thankful for having the money to pay for it. This simple shift in focus transforms an act of scarcity into an act of abundance. Be grateful for what is coming. Integrate your financial desire into your gratitude prayer. Thank you for the wealth that is already present in my life, and for the abundance that flows to me every day in expected and unexpected ways. Case study: the story of a salesman. Joseph Murphy tells the story of a salesman who struggled to make ends meet. He felt inferior to his more successful colleagues and was full of resentment. Every morning he would tell himself, "I'm not going to get any sales today." And his subconscious, obediently, made sure that was the case. After learning these principles, he radically changed his approach. Every night before sleeping, he created a mental scene. He imagined himself in his office, at the end of a successful day, happily filling his agenda with appointments and sales. He felt the satisfaction of a job well done, the self-confidence, the gratitude for his success. He repeated this mental movie over and over. During the day, every time he was tempted to think, "I can't," he would cancel that thought and affirm with conviction, "The sales I make are for the good of all, and the law of abundance operates through me." In a matter of a month, his reality began to change. He became one of the best salesmen in his company. He didn't change his job or his product, he changed his mind. And by changing his inner world, his outer world transformed to reflect it. Practice your reprogramming plan for wealth. Exercise 1. The diagnosis of your financial consciousness. Open your journal. For the next 3 days, pay special attention to your thoughts and words about money. Write down every time you complain about the price of something. Write down every time you feel envy of someone else's success. Write down every time you say or think, "I can't afford it." Write down every time you feel anxiety when looking at your bank account. This diagnosis will show you with brutal clarity the poverty consciousness you have been cultivating. Exercise 2. The 21-day wealth ritual. Consistency is key. I propose a 21-day challenge to install your new wealth consciousness. Every day, without exception, commit to doing the following. In the morning, 5 minutes. Upon waking, before picking up your phone, read your wealth affirmation with feeling. Then, dedicate a few minutes to feeling genuine gratitude for 3 things you already possess. During the day, every time you catch yourself in a thought of scarcity, use the cancel and replace technique. At night, 10 minutes. In your drowsy state, perform your mental movie of prosperity. Feel it as real. And then, fall asleep repeating your subconscious lullaby. Wealth, success, thank you. Your right to be rich is a right to life, to freedom, and to the full expression of your talents. Prosperity is not something you should chase in the external world. It is something you must accept and cultivate within. You are the gardener of your destiny. The seeds of infinite wealth are already in your hand. Start planting them today. Chapter 9. The Inner Pharmacy, the Subconscious and Healing. We now come to the most intimate and, for many, most miraculous application of the laws of the mind. We are going to explore the deep connection between your thoughts, your beliefs, and your biology. We are going to open the doors of the most sophisticated and powerful pharmacy that exists, the pharmacy you carry within yourself. Modern medicine, with its incredible advances, has often led us to see the body as a biological machine, a collection of parts that wear out and break down, and must be repaired from the outside with medication or surgery. While these interventions are often necessary and life-saving, this mechanistic view completely ignores the conductor who governs every process of this machine. The subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind not only built your body from a single cell, but also directs all its autonomous functions every second of every day. It controls your heart rate, the digestion of your food, the repair of your cells, and the complex ballet of your immune system. It does everything without your conscious intervention, following the original blueprint of perfect health with which you were born. Dr. Joseph Murphy, like many pioneers in the field of psychosomatic medicine, held a radical truth. All illness ultimately originates in the mind. This doesn't mean the illness is imaginary. The pain is real. The pathology is real. What it means is that habitual negative thought, chronic fear, repressed anger, or a deeply ingrained belief in illness act as destructive commands for the engine room. They give your subconscious a distorted blueprint, a blueprint of disharmony, and your subconscious, which is an obedient servant, begins to build that disharmony into the fabric of your body. Modern science is validating this connection in amazing ways. The field of psychoneuroimmunology has shown, without a doubt, that your emotional states have a direct and measurable impact on your immune system. Chronic stress and anxiety release cortisol, a hormone that in the long term suppresses the function of immune cells, leaving you vulnerable to infections and inflammation. Conversely, states of joy, love, and peace release neurochemicals like oxytocin and endorphins, which strengthen your immune system and accelerate healing processes. Your body, therefore, is not separate from your thoughts. It is the physical mirror of your habitual mental state. Illness is often not a random attack from the outside. It is a signal, a manifestation of a conflict or a disharmonious belief within. The principle of healing, therefore, is simple in its conception, although it requires faith and persistence in its application. It consists of ceasing to plant seeds of fear and illness in our subconscious and beginning to deliberately and systematically sow the seeds of health, vitality, and perfection. It consists of reminding our subconscious of the original blueprint with which it was created. To apply this, we will use the same tools we already know, but fine-tuned for the purpose of healing. Applying the tools for healing. 1. The autosuggestion of perfect health. You must create an affirmation that declares your state of well-being as a present fact. It is crucial to avoid any thought that gives power to the illness. Do not affirm, "My illness is disappearing." By doing this, you are still acknowledging the illness. Your affirmation must focus exclusively on the state of health. Create your healing. Lullaby. A simple and powerful phrase is, "Divine perfection and vitality flow through me, healing and restoring every cell of my body." Or, if you seek simplicity, health and vitality. The ritual. Every night in your drowsy state, repeat this lullaby with a deep sense of conviction. Feel the truth of the words. Feel the energy of healing flowing through you like a golden river of light. Fall asleep with the feeling that you are already healthy. 2. The visualization of the restored body. This is perhaps the most powerful technique for healing. Your subconscious built your body, so it knows every cell, every tissue, every organ. By giving it a clear and vivid image of health, you are giving it the exact blueprint for repair. Create your healing film. Close your eyes. Don't focus on the sick organ. Focus on the final result. Imagine yourself doing something you couldn't do before, full of energy and vitality. Are you running through a park, playing with your children without getting tired? Waking up in the morning feeling completely renewed and without pain? Load it with sensory details. Feel the strength in your muscles. Hear your own laughter. Feel the sun on your skin. Make the scene so real, so vibrant, that your subconscious accepts it as a real experience. Feel the emotion. The key emotion here is gratitude. Feel a deep gratitude for your restored body, for the miracle of healing that has already taken place on the plane of consciousness. This feeling of gratitude is the most powerful command you can give to your inner pharmacy. Case study: the healing of the skin. Murphy recounts the case of a man who suffered from a painful and persistent skin condition that doctors had been unable to cure. Every night, this man practiced a form of visualization and autosuggestion. He imagined his doctor in front of him saying, "You have had a miraculous cure." He focused on those words, repeated them over and over, and felt the emotion of relief and surprise they would bring. In addition, every time he was tempted to scratch or think about his sick skin, he would cancel that thought and calmly affirm, "My skin is perfect, clean, and healthy." After 3 months of persistent practice, his skin completely healed, to the astonishment of his own doctor. He did not fight the disease. He shifted his attention from imperfection to perfection, and his subconscious, upon receiving the new blueprint, materialized it in his body. Practice. Activating your inner pharmacy. Exercise 1. The dialogue with your body. Your body is a consciousness, not just an object. This exercise helps you rebuild a relationship of love and cooperation with it. Once a day, take 5 minutes to sit in silence. Close your eyes and bring your attention to the part of your body that needs healing, or simply to your body in general. Instead of seeing it as a source of problems, send it a current of love and gratitude. Thank your heart for beating, your lungs for breathing, your immune system for protecting you. Then, speak to it mentally, as you would speak to a beloved child. Tell it, I love you. I ask for your forgiveness for having ignored you, or for having filled you with thoughts of fear. I give you permission to heal yourself. I trust in your innate wisdom to restore perfect order and harmony. This simple act of loving communication can change your body's chemistry and create an internal environment much more conducive to healing. Exercise 2, the healing light bath. This is a visualization you can do at any time of day, especially if you feel pain or discomfort. Close your eyes. Imagine a beautiful golden or white light, bright and full of vital energy, descending from the sky and entering through the crown of your head. Feel how this warm, healing light begins to flow downward through your entire body. Visualize it filling every cell, every tissue, every organ. Consciously direct this light to any area that needs healing. Imagine the light dissolving any blockages, any pain, any disharmony, restoring the cells to their perfect and original state. Hold this visualization for a few minutes, feeling the warmth, peace, and revitalizing energy of the light. It is crucial to understand that this approach is not a substitute for professional medical care. It is an immensely powerful complement. Follow the advice of your doctors, but at the same time, do your inner work. A doctor can set a broken bone, but it is the power of your subconscious mind that actually performs the process of mending the bone. By aligning your thoughts and beliefs with the principle of health, you create the optimal internal conditions for any external treatment to work in the fastest and most effective way possible. Your body believes every word you tell it. If you tell it of illness, it will prepare for it. If you tell it of health, it will mobilize to create it. You are the architect of your own well-being. The blueprint for perfect health already resides within you. Your only job is to remind your master builder. Chapter 10. Harmonious Relationships and Overcoming Fear. The fundamental law we must understand is this. Your external world is a mirror of your internal world. The people around you and the way they interact with you are not an accident. They are often a direct reflection of the beliefs you hold in your subconscious mind about yourself, about others, and about life in general. If you deeply believe you are not worthy of love, you will attract people who do not treat you with the respect you deserve, thereby validating your belief. If you are convinced that people always disappoint you, your subconscious will make sure you filter your experiences to notice only disappointments, ignoring acts of loyalty, and you will subtly behave in a way that causes others to fail you. The most common mistake we make is trying to change the other person. We use criticism, arguments, manipulation, or pleading to try to make the reflection in the mirror change. But the mirror cannot change on its own. It can only reflect a different image if the image in front of it changes first. The only person over whom you have absolute power of transformation is yourself. And herein lies the key to healing any relationship. When you change your concept of yourself and of others, others must change their response to you. It's a law. Either the person in question begins to reflect your new belief, or naturally and often without conflict, they fade from your life, and their place is taken by someone who is in harmony with your new state of consciousness. Programming harmony in your relationships. To heal or improve a relationship, whether with a partner, a family member, a boss, or a colleague, you must stop focusing on their flaws and start working on your own mind. The affirmation technique for the other. This is one of the most beautiful and powerful techniques that exist. Choose the person you have a conflict with. Instead of mentally reviewing their faults, you are going to do the opposite. In a state of calm and receptivity, you are going to affirm for that person all the qualities you would like them to express. If your boss is authoritarian and critical, instead of feeding your resentment, relax and affirm sincerely. I am thinking of boss's name. I wish them peace, harmony, wisdom, and understanding. I recognize the divine intelligence within them and know they are guided to act with fairness, kindness, and respect toward all their employees, including me. I radiate peace and goodwill toward them, and they return it to me. By doing this, you are not being naive or trying to magically manipulate them. You are doing two things. First, you are radically changing the atmosphere of your own mind, moving from the poison of resentment to the healing energy of goodwill. This changes your body language, your tone of voice, and your actions toward them. And second, you are imprinting a new relationship pattern on your own subconscious, and your subconscious will seek to manifest that harmony. The mental rehearsal of reconciliation. If you have to face a difficult conversation or want to heal a breakup, use your mind cinema. But don't project the movie of the disaster that your fear anticipates. Instead, rehearse the movie of harmony. Enter your drowsy and relaxed state. Imagine a calm and peaceful conversation with that person. Don't focus on the exact words. Focus on the emotion. Imagine yourself listening with empathy, speaking calmly and kindly. Visualize the other person as receptive and understanding. Bring the scene to a harmonious conclusion, a handshake, an embrace, a smile of mutual understanding. Feel the emotion of reconciliation and peace as if it were already real. Repeat this mental movie over and over. By doing so, you are imbuing your subconscious with the feeling of harmony, and it will find the means to bring it into your experience. Dissolving fear from the root. Fear is the great saboteur of life, the one that prevents us from taking risks, loving fully and expressing our true selves. Fear, in its essence, is simply a negative thought, a mental movie of a catastrophic future, watered with intense emotion. It is a destructive use of faith. It is having faith in the wrong outcome. You cannot overcome fear by fighting it. As we already know, what you fight against strengthens. The only way to overcome fear is by using the law of substitution. You cannot simply erase a thought. You must replace it with a more powerful one. You must deliberately withdraw your attention from the movie of fear and project, with the same or greater intensity, the movie of triumph, the triumph film technique. This technique is the direct antidote to any fear or phobia, whether it's the fear of public speaking, flying, job interviews, or illness. Step 1. Identify your fear. Be specific. What exactly are you afraid of? Step 2. Build the opposite scene. Create a short, vivid mental movie of yourself doing successfully and joyfully exactly what you fear. Again, focus on the happy ending. If you're afraid of flying, don't visualize the takeoff. Visualize yourself arriving at your destination, getting off the plane with a smile, feeling the excitement of arrival, and telling yourself, that was a wonderful and peaceful trip. If you're afraid of public speaking, don't visualize the moment you start speaking. Visualize the end of your presentation. Hear the sound of enthusiastic applause. See people coming up to congratulate you. Feel the immense satisfaction and relief of having done a wonderful job. Step 3. Project it with persistence. Every time the thought of fear appears in your mind, use it as a reminder, like an alarm, to immediately project your triumph film. Do it over and over. Fall asleep feeling the emotion of success. Over time, the new movie, more powerful and charged with a positive emotion, will overwrite the old fear program in your subconscious. Practice, the architect of your emotional world. Exercise 1, the relationship laboratory. Choose one relationship in your life, just one, that you would like to improve. The commitment. For the next 30 days, commit to not criticizing that person, either out loud or in your thoughts. Every time a critical thought arises, cancel it and replace it with a positive affirmation for that person. The nightly ritual. Every night, without exception, dedicate 5 minutes to practicing the affirmation for the other. Mentally radiate peace, love, and goodwill toward that person. The observation. Simply observe. Observe any change, however subtle, in your own feelings toward that person and in the way they interact with you. Don't have expectations, just observe. Exercise 2, the exorcism of a fear. Choose a specific fear that is limiting you. Don't choose your biggest fear to start, choose a medium-sized one. The script. Write in your journal the script for your 20-second triumph film. Be detailed with the senses and, above all, with the final emotion of relief and joy. The daily projection. Commit to projecting this mental movie at least 3 times a day. In the morning upon waking, at some point midday, and at night before sleeping. Do it with the greatest emotional intensity you can muster. Your external world, your relationships, your fears, and your hopes are a direct reflection of the conversation you have with your subconscious mind. When you stop blaming the mirror and start working on the face that is reflected in it, the world has no choice but to give you back a new image. Harmony is not something you find in others. It is something you cultivate in yourself and then radiate to the world. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the conscious and disciplined choice to feed a thought of faith that is bigger than the fear. You have received the keys to the kingdom. You have learned the laws and techniques to unlock the power of your inner giant, to shape your prosperity, your health, your relationships, and your courage. We have learned the language of the engine room, that of imagination and feeling, and we have practiced with the tools of the mental architect, autosuggestion, visualization, and gratitude. We have seen how to apply this power to shape our prosperity, our health, and our relationships. The power, as you have seen, has always been within you. It is not something you acquire, it is something you recognize. The subconscious is not an external force you must conquer, but a faithful servant awaiting your commands, and that makes you, your conscious mind, the most important figure in your universe. It makes you the gatekeeper. Your responsibility and your greatest power in this life is to consciously choose the thoughts you allow to enter the fertile garden of your mind. Every thought you choose, every feeling you cultivate, is a seed you are planting in eternity, a cause that will inevitably produce its effect. Your journey does not end with this audiobook, it begins now. Your first task is not monumental, it is simple. Pay attention to the next thought you choose, to the next seed you plant. You are the captain of your soul and the master of your destiny. Brief pause in narration. The background music remains very soft. If this journey of discovery has resonated with you, we invite you to continue exploring the power of the mind by subscribing to our channel, Path of Knowledge. A like on this audiobook tells us that this content has brought you value. And if you believe that this message can awaken the sleeping giant in someone else, we encourage you to share it. See you next time.